Hello everyone, and welcome back once again to Control. Last time we descended into the depths of the Foundation where it seems the astral plane intersects with our reality. And I imagine there's going to be a whole lot more weirdness from here. These dig sites have been abandoned probably for maybe even decades, I'm not sure. But I kind of suspect that this Dr. Ash, the one who worked under Northmore and dedicated his life to this, may still be around somewhere. But let's have a look at this document. Ley lines. For all my research into the oldest house's ley lines, I still don't understand why they converge here, at the base of this pillar. I suppose the simplest reason is that they have to converge somewhere. Occam's razor and all that. But that seems wrong. The esoteric world abhors coincidence. I adore that line. So what is the true relationship between this pillar and the ley lines? Does it act as a magnet, attracting them? Polar north? Or is the pillar a product of their focused energies? A sprout nourished by the constant flow of the oldest house's power? Perhaps classifying that power would provide some insight. However, we currently have no means of measuring or quantifying it. Given time, it may become possible to collect and even harness this energy. On that note, Northmore is bringing in the much-lauded Dr. Gustav Wagner from headquarters in DC to aid my research. I suppose this is his way of saying he doesn't trust me to work unsupervised. Let's just hope Dr. Wagner is as smart as his dearly departed Fuhrer once believed him to be. So Wagner is that Nazi, is he? The guy who got paperclipped? There's another document over here. On the nature of the pillar. The pillar found in the crossroads is best described as an onyx spike that protrudes from the cave floor like an imposing stalagmite. Despite its aggressive silhouette, the structure has an undeniable allure. Freud would certainly have something to say about the pillar's overly erect nature, but I'm more drawn to Whitmore's essay on dynamic layers, structures within structures, and the fractal mirror in every being. Given its significant location, I believe the pillar is the very heart of the oldest house, or an intrusion within that heart. Or perhaps it's like the husk of a seed from which the oldest house sprouted. Trottier wrote that great architecture isn't built, it grows. But then, why does the pillar look so different from the rest of this place's concrete walls and rocky caverns? It's easier to see it as an anomaly, a buried artifact, a foreign body, a demonic phallus, which was my band name in high school. I wonder if this pillar is any more welcome here than we are. Well, that would make sense. If the intrusion of the astral plane into this space is indeed a protrusion, then perhaps this could be the source of it. The foreign splinter that acts as the contaminant that brings in the bacteria. Can we get on top of it? Not really. Doesn't seem to want us up here. But we were gifted a power, one of two, by the board. One was the ability to destroy these rocky formations, and the other the ability to influence it. Now, we were only able to take one, and I chose the one that allows us to create these formations, not destroy them, which I guess is the reason why we can't get through here. I wonder if that'll ever open up. That'd be really irritating if we go through this entire extensive game and you were just soft-locked out of ever being able to get certain things. But I was supposed to make my way to base camp. This says base camp. I thought that I would be... there we go. It's a little bit difficult to see, but there's our outline. There we go. Oh, and pardon the window whistle. This is going to be another one of those whistly, windy days. Is there another? No matter, we don't need it. We can just kind of shift across the way. Now, how are we getting up there is the next question. This is so cool. It's almost like we're pioneers ourselves trying to make our way in this cave. This cave that looks a whole lot like the way to Ahti's vacation spot. There we are. Sometimes we'll have to look around a bit. Just make sure we can make it. We almost can't. There's got to be something else. I don't like this. I don't like this. Nope, I did not like that at all. Tell you what, if we climb onto you, double jump from here. Okay, now we can do it. There we are. Great into the deep, dark cave. We gotta watch out for these geysers. They're quite unsafe. Let's take this from above and just kind of move through quickly where we can. Is that a gunshot I just heard? Oh, great. You guys are not like the others. Well, no matter. We can use that as a shield or a weapon. Yep. Right now it's acting as a shield for them, really. But one of you and one of you. And yeah, Pierce is going to be real great against you guys. Yep. Yeah, somebody's shooting down there. Yep. Ah, there you are. Hiss versus astral creatures. It really is an overlap. Although that word has multiple meanings around here. Ooh, a big bright pit. A big bright pit, which we learned we can't actually die in. Falling in will reset us. But I smell a secret. Yes. There we go. I am so glad I learned that little trick where if you can't quite make it, a dash will sometimes help you. Yeah, it's just energy we regain from melee. I don't really particularly care about that, as I have not invested in it at all. Goodies. Which we also don't really need. Our limited slots really do force us to build ourselves in a very particular way. I mean, you really have to be an ace of several trades instead of a jack of all. Die. You know, I actually saw a Reddit post complaining about these guys, and I don't really know what they're talking about. I mean, maybe things will change, but I haven't really had too much trouble with them. But, you know, it is so creepy descending into the oldest parts of the oldest house. There's something so, like, primordial about this that makes it feel so unwelcoming, even by the standards of this place. Which sort of is fitting, because you're getting to this just as you become director, just as you've settled into your new role. You've got to be in rough shape health-wise. That was a headshot from an upgraded Pierce. Which does hit through armor, remember? Oh my god, you were playing the long game. I thought you were gone. I meant to possess you, and I accidentally grabbed you. Here, hold this. Oh, what a joyous reunion. Yep. You dead yet? No, wow, you guys can take a lot. You don't really have much ability to dodge, though, do you? Soon we'll be able to possess you and have a big boy with a minigun as a pet. Alright, where are you at? These guys are actually fairly low level, considering. I mean, we're used to running into like level 7s and 8s up here. Yeah, here's another one of those things we'd be able to break if we had taken that other ability. So we're seeing a lot of things that we're locked out of. I wonder if we won't get that as a reward at the end of this DLC? Let's have a look at our map. I've actually never looked at it before. Wow, this place is huge. And from the look of it, I think we might be crossing, if not a canyon, then at least some sort of fire break. Oh god. I'm guessing you explode if we stay close to you for too long? Yes, you work very similar to the mold.
This area looks newer. Is it from the upper floors?
Howdy, Carl. Yep. Ah, we were too slow on that. Yeah, but we weren't too slow on that. Alright, where are we keeping our generators these days? Right here. You know, things have gotten strange when it's weird to see the same hallways we've been walking through this entire time, you know? No documents, surprising. This one hasn't really been all that heavy on reading. Complete the ritual in the collapsed apartment and reach the warehouse path. So we've actually got 2 different objectives at play all at once. I guess it's kind of us which we pursue first. That is some definitive hiss corruption down here. When it rains, it really pours in this place.
There's something behind that hiss barrier.
And we're gonna get it. I bet we can open that up with our powers. There we go. This is really neat. And I do also, like, for as weird as it is to restrict access to certain things, I am pretty interested in the decision to have us choose our power in such a way. Makes me think that there must be some sort of point to this. Alright, are you gonna open up for us? You will. These things still make me nervous after that corpse we found. It all just feels like a dream whenever I see stuff like this down here. I mean, it looks like everything else, and yet something nobody from the Foundation has seen in years, if they've seen it at all. I mean, for all I know, this is an entirely artificial construct. Made to look like it. That's the coolest thing about the FBC in general and the Oldest House, is that they're essentially Police of the Strange based in the back rooms. Okay, but we do have some ability points to spend, and I want to mess around with Seize. So we can get you, there we go, and we can get you. Seize large enemies when their health is low. We can seize the big boys. Excellent. Been waiting all game for that. Alright, GLaDOS, you watching me from there? There we go, just just headbutt the window down, Jesse. Yeah, you have fun with that. We appear to be experiencing some electrical anomalies while we're at it. Shift account part 1. To whoever finds this, I am Containment Processes designer Jan Gibbs, and I'm writing this to document the largest building shift to ever occur. Here are the facts. A considerably large section of the containment sector, including processes and protocols offices, our research facilities, and a fair chunk of the fire break, has been yanked down to a chasm that reaches far below lobby level. I think it was a violent shift, and I regret to report several casualties. Injuries were sustained by all, but many of us, myself included, are still mobile. We've set up a base camp and started triaging. There are little supplies. We explored our surroundings and found caverns of all things. Maybe we're in some kind of cave threshold, like the quarry? Wherever we are, we're not the first. There were some rusty power cores, old lights, signs, infrastructure. What was this area used for? Why did they seal it off? Why have we never heard of it? More importantly, how are we going to get out? That's horrifying. The most violent shift to ever occur, I believe it. And into some place that they had never heard of, despite the fact that the Bureau had accessed this before. Maybe way before. That's a scary thought. Especially the idea that they maybe could have gotten out of this if that information weren't classified. I wonder if maybe they were considered a sacrifice. A sacrifice for secrecy. Kiev summary. A series of reverberating sounds observed in downtown Kiev with no point of origin. The event was witnessed by the city's general public. Mental and physical symptoms were reported, including aphasia, sleep paralysis, and excess something in the reported individuals. Due to the brief nature of the event, Overseas Bureau agents were not able to respond while it was active. Immediately upon arrival, agents collected audio recordings taken by local witnesses. All Bureau monitoring stations located at global junctions of acoustic amplification were directed to monitor any auditory events of similar pitch, wavelength, and duration in an effort to trace echoes or epicenters. In the following weeks, Similar cases were reported from both various amateur sources and bureau stations in major cities across the globe. The subsequent events diminished in volume and frequency per each occurrence. Event is believed to be generated by planar friction, though this is not confirmed. Strange. 2011, too. I wonder if this is one of those real events. That's what I thought. Okay. So I'm going to need folks on side in a real big hurry. You look good. Maybe we can even take a big boy if we can find one. Yep. Howdy, bud. Let me just stagger you a bit. There we go. And you're on my side now. I wonder, do we have the ability to seize an additional enemy? Look at me just roaming back and forth. I don't know what kind of word just came out of my mouth, but it was something. Yep, I think we can have 3 of you. Yep. Alright, where are the rest of you guys at? I'm just looking to see where you're firing. Somebody up there. Hello. I'm just trying to get more use out of spin. Been neglecting it lately. Everything dies so quickly. More guys. I love how my C's, they're just kind of doing all the work for me. Ow. Slam. And welcome to the jam. Haven't used that one in a while. All 3 of my guys must still be alive. Oh, never mind, because I couldn't seize you at first. Yep. Sometimes the projectile you hurl is yourself. It's a life metaphor, really. Yep. With these guys, there's really no point in queuing up multiple projectiles to throw, because either one is going to hit or they're all going to hit. There we go. Oh wow, they just keep coming! Sniper! I don't really have much use for taking you, I believe. Oh, these cameras are all watching me. Howdy! When you get in close like this, the camera starts doing real wacky business. It makes it really hard to do anything. Alright, you, I don't really feel like going all the way over to you. Oh, there's a sniper right there. Hang on, I brought mine too. Anybody else alive down there? The siege duration should be quite long, which explains why our guys lasted so long. Oh, you got a jukebox token. Not that I'm using them lately, but it could be something we do later. Gotta keep moving, because if there's snipers afoot, that's a problem. Sir? So, now what? Yep. Oh wow, this is the first time I've gotten an opportunity to look at one of you guys up close. I didn't realize you were so different. Oh, you're like dead and bruised? Well, I guess that does lend some credence to the idea, the hopeful idea, that they're essentially just living corpses, and there's nothing really left of them. Okay, so how are we getting out of this space here? Right, this opened up. This is not what I expected to see inside this bathroom, but I guess it just goes to show that you gotta check now and then.
Someone call a plumber. Glad no one was around to hear that.
Oh wow, we got a Polaris acknowledgement right there. Okay, let's have a look at this document then. That is so funny. You know, I saw a couple of people say they don't like Jessie's character because they say she's too, like, emotionless. I disagree. She has reason to be damaged and distrustful. But throughout the game, we do get to see more of her, like, curious and dorky side. Like, she's actually a really awesome character, in my opinion. Dear House of Representatives, my husband, Francis, read an article before he died about how the universe was really just a computer program. He believed it. I thought it sounded silly, but now I think he was right. Francis was hit by a car a few months ago. A drunk driver. I don't think it was supposed to happen. My neighbor's son, Jeremy, broke one of our windows with a football a week before Francis died. Francis yelled at Jeremy for it. He was a bit harsh. This is important because I see Jeremy on his computer through their living room window. He's on it all the time. His mother says he's a computer whiz. I think Jeremy is operating the computer program, and he changed the universe so that the driver would hit Francis. He did it to get back at Francis for yelling at him. Is there a way to change the computer and make Francis come back? I have some money if it's expensive. I don't know how these things work. I don't care if Jeremy gets in trouble or not. I just want Francis to come home. Francis and I were very happy together. I can feel him not being here, and I know it's not right. Sincerely, Stephanie Miller. That's really sad, because for all the strangeness, for all the conspiracies that really are true in this universe, that's one of those things that truly is just random. But anything to believe otherwise, right? Man, imagine, these people were just doing office work, essentially. Next thing you know, you're down here. So far away, and yet not knowing how close it is that you really are. That's the crazy thing is, well, how little distance means in a place like this. It can be hard to wrap your head around. Evaluation hall. Why do the cameras in this area seem so much angrier than in the rest of the building? There's some things we can get back there. Looks like there's an audio log in there, so we'll have to move around and hear that. No? No. Control point. Excellent. It's always such a relief when you find these things. Marking your progress, expanding your horizons, being totally locked out. You can crouch under that. Oh, what, are you worried you'll mess up your hair? Granted, it's pretty magnificent hair. And we can open that. And potentially get into that back room. There we go. Here's how we open this up.
You're listening to America Overnight, a beacon in the darkest recesses of possibility for more than 29 years. We have another letter from a listener. This one's unsigned, but postmarked from Toledo. It says, "Dear America Overnight, I have the most wonderful appliance for your listeners. It is a miracle of God. A fondue set. A fountain. A blessed gift. Blessed is spelled with a capital B. Go on, they write. Dive on in. It is molten hot. Perfect for meat." No signature. As far as I know, no fondue set was sent to us here at the studio. Just this letter. Wait, I think there's something else in the envelope. Some kind of black powder with white shards in it? Bone, maybe? Karen? What is this? Karen? You're on the air, Karen. Where are you? What's this powder in the booth? Is this ash? Oh God. Karen? How do I cut to commercial?
That's horrifying. With all the build-up that this blessed organization has gotten, I really gotta wonder if this won't maybe have some factor in Control 2, or whatever they decide to do with this franchise next. More of the Kiev situation. Recordings of the audio phenomena were uploaded onto the internet shortly after the event. These records circulated rapidly on popular message boards. The communications department utilized this exposure by creating Sky Trumpet hoax videos and posting related theories to spread confusion and draw attention away from the event's paranatural origin. Industrial noise, particularly the sound of metal drilling, was found to be a widely accepted explanation. Theories about the sounds emanating from the Earth itself, known as seismic hum, emerged from the public itself, and were encouraged by the Bureau to generate further misdirection and eventual public disinterest. Witnesses of the event were monitored discreetly afterwards. Observed symptoms were consistent with something deprivation, but subsided after 12 to 15 days. The length of the symptoms directly correlated to the individual's proximity, unsheltered, to the supposed epicenter. One linked, although accidental casualty can be listed. It has to do with hearing aids. That's unfortunate. According to the map, we should be able to loop back around to the crossroads if we can make our way through here. Shift account part 2. Gibbs reporting in. It's been 8 days since the collapse, and still no sign of any rescue efforts. The Bureau is either completely unaware of our situation or are incapable of helping us. Or maybe it's intentional. How many times have we seen the Bureau not give two craps about its own hardworking staff when they go missing in this place? How many times do we let it slide, thinking, oh, at least it wasn't me? Too many, I'm ashamed to admit. Anyway, there have been some developments. Strange crystals have begun growing through the walls. They seem to block some corridors, but not others. The path to the caves is always left open, but we're not sure why. Luckily, the crystals keep out the astral spike. One's been hounding us for days. John, Nicolay, and Sarah went to try and find a radio, but never came back. We think the spike got them. I think it's hunting us. Doug says spikes only exist in the astral planes, so what is it doing here? If we get out of here, I'm hiring a lawyer. These are unsuitable working conditions. You know, that brings up an amazing point. And it's another reason why I do love this game's sort of interpretation of the world of Strange. This is something that we've seen in a lot of the staff here, even to an extent in Pope and Darling, but also at Tomasi and other workers here. You kind of have to lose your empathy doing something like this. I mean, in a job where mass casualty events are the norm, where you're always dealing with the unknown and therefore unknown injuries and such, eventually your curiosity has to be the motivating force. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do it. Okay, we could shift the airlock, or we could come through here. There's an elevator. Let's use the elevator first.
So that's the altered item. Looks pretty secure.
Camera in a cage, suspended over this whole thing. I guess it at one time led to a turntable. So what do we do with it then? I feel like we really need to learn more about this before we start pushing buttons.
I should hire someone who builds smaller machines.
It's 60s tech. What can I say? You can pull these doors off. Come on, you. Come on. Yep. Yeah. But we still cannot open these door thingies. Oh, wait. There's openable doors up there. Perhaps we can grab a U and go like that. There we go. Ah, we've got to drop them in. Okay, I almost didn't notice that. Yep. And yep. Oh, this thing is starting to roar to life. And let's just put you, nope, put you down. Get rid of you guys. And in you go. It's even got a lock on. Resume altered item transport at designated terminal. So where are we bringing this sucker? You know, something that's always fascinated me ever since Silence of the Lambs is a lot of show rather than tell when it comes to the extent of a threat. Like, when you have all this security around something that looks so big and scary, it makes you think, what must this person or object be capable of for it to warrant all this?
Personnel may now safely enter.
Oh, okay, I guess I wouldn't have been allowed to come in here before. I wonder if we'll use that camera for something, or if we're still just going to be left to wonder. And to be honest, either way is a valid way to do it. Alright, I forgot you guys can throw stuff. Well, so can I. Yep, there's you guys. Oh, I hate it whenever you're around. Die. And die. Yep. Oh, it's a you. Oh, we gotta try possessing you. We've so gotta try possessing you. That's right, let's just dash on by you. Yep. And yep. Oh. Are we gonna possess you by the time there's already nothing left to send you against? Yep. There we go. You'll be our first victim. And with 85% C speed, it's even better. There we go. Get grenaded. Right out of existence. Oh, you are a good friend to have. You know that? Here, let me hide behind you. Oh, look, you just tower over me. Let's see if we can get a better look at you. Oh, you're completely full of the suit. Actually, you've got an image of an eye on the front of your visor. That's kind of interesting. So you're like a big, beefy Cyclops. Oh, you've even got a really cool 80s-looking wrist panel. Okay, so we've got to get ourselves through here somehow. And those windows might be the way to do it. Come on now. Ah, Jesse, there you go. It's kind of difficult to control your height precisely. But as usual, we made it. Oh, we can unlock a door. That is excellent. For a second, I thought that was a huge mound of gore. Another elevator that has something very strange going on. That looks like mold. Yep, that's what I thought. Goodbye. I was ready for that jump scare. Hidden location discovered. Well, it's not exactly hidden. You led me right to it. Wait, trauma ammo refund. New language. For immediate publication. I learned a brand new language. The fish taught me. You probably don't believe me, so I'll prove it. Hulu muti germerlrap us echo. Guido? Kib Guido, Ertert Pippo Herum Rek Ebuet 1455 Osperton Club 2022 Quidi Jimyon Ret Buzam Kim Zwalten Jiminy Rogue. See? Please publish this letter and maybe other fish speakers will get in touch. They'll be able to read my address, even if you can't. Jiminy Rogue, Larry Humbert. Another Elster fun fact that I was made aware of that seems so obvious now that she told me, but I'm honestly embarrassed that I didn't pick up on this before. So obviously the objects of power give us abilities that are related to them, like the safe gives us the shield and whatnot. Well, one that completely flew over my head is how the floppy disk gives us telekinesis. Until she pointed out, it's not the floppy disk itself that gives us these powers, it's what's on them. Launch codes. Brilliant. And I felt so stupid for not getting it in the first place. I've been forgetting to talk about this for like 6 episodes. Oh, we're going to learn about the camera. Action Max camera. The item first came to the Bureau's attention after a hospitalized mailman from someplace Arkansas claimed his injuries had been caused by a movie camera. Further investigation connected the incident to AI-80, which was being shipped in the mail truck at the time. The packaged camera was later found in an empty warehouse. The return address led agents to a P.O. box located in San Fernando Valley belonging to a company called Blessed Pictures. Whether Blessed Pictures is involved in the creation and dissemination of the item's VHS films is unknown. Are they spreading creepypasta tapes? The following is a list of all known films believed to have been shot by AI-80UE. Shoot First, Die Last, unreleased. Coffee Bullet, Billy's First Car, Bike Hard, and Delivery Disaster. Item was used in the filming of an unreleased Western in 1968 on the Italian island of Sardinia. A cast member was killed during an on-set accident, stopping production. It's believed that Blessed Pictures bought the camera when equipment from the shoot was sold at auction. You know, some of these things do work in a very similar way to a haunting. Are there things in there? Oh, a whole bunch of film reels, which I've just destroyed. Oh well, I'm sure it's for the best, given what we just learned. But just imagine, I wonder if copies of those movies are also dangerous. I mean, they must be to get this kind of attention, right? It's clear no one is coming. We're running out of ideas and supplies. We tried going into the caves to find anything edible, but all we found were noxious gases and endless pits. The crystals only let us go one way, even though we could see the caves branched out. We did find some weird spiky pillar. I only got a glimpse of it before the astral spikes attacked. There were a few of them this time. We lost a lot of people. There's only 6 of us left. We didn't ask for this. We didn't want to come down here. I'm convinced something brought us here. The others say I'm going nuts, but it's clear this was no house shift. Shifts slide a bathroom a sector over, or rotate a hallway. They don't drop full divisions into some caves. We were brought here. I know it. But for what? Why tear us away from our lives just to torture us? If this is some sort of test or mission, then here's some advice for whoever's running it. Give out clearer instructions next time. I hope these notes are a good read for whatever ranger finds them. F you. Put that in your report. Gibbs. Well, how about the director? And circumstances aside, you are fired for using that language with me.
That damn gun. Faith? Not sure she's ready.
I'm here, aren't I? I saved the Bureau once, and I'll do it again.
Well, I mean, technically you haven't finished saving the Bureau the first time, but, you know.
I've served under 2 directors. 3 now, I suppose. Trench and I worked our way up together. We made it through the tough cases, the bad days, the casualties. He was the epitome of a good agent. Smart, decisive, selfless. Then he picked up that damn gun. Becoming director is a formal process overseen by the board. Lots of ritual and mystery. After that, key staff provide detailed briefs on all classified matters, past and present. But with Faden, well, there's no protocol for field promotion. The girl's smart, has a good head on her shoulders. I'm trusting her to handle the hiss upstairs, while I hold them off here. All this shit with the nail, the board, I'm not sure she's ready. Besides, I work better alone.
Well, we'll see about that. That kind of depends on the nature of your correspondence with us, doesn't it? Just like the one we found down in Ati's place.
Another etching, like the one I used to get in here.
That's not my top concern right now. Where does this go? This will presumably eventually lead us out of here, actually. But wait, I'm a little bit confused. So this path down here leads up and to the left of the crossroads. Is there something... Wait, shouldn't there be something over here? Let's assume this has something to do with it. Locke's Ancient Reason Abalone.
Is this the lock/key the board told me about?
The game's frozen. Hey, but restarting the game puts us right back here, so at least the saves are in good spots. Big old chunk missing out of you. I have the ability to reform you. A point right on the end to childproof the Black Pyramid. We're being brought here to restore what's been damaged. Is that it? Or to build our own boss fight? I'm not sure which. On this side right here. Well done, seasoned. Only 3 keys / tethers remain. Our nail is rebuilding, loosening. Oh, that is so cool. I wonder how this would have presented if we had selected the other ability.
First one down. Director Faden's got this covered.
Oh, we're gonna get to see what happens when we capture a resonance. Get you! And there we go, we are being passively healed. That's pretty sick. And now we can... Has anything else opened up? Nope. It has not, so I still don't know what the nature of that other tunnel is. How close do you have to be? You won't follow us either. Oh, you will, you will. You just gotta get a certain distance. Why did just you show up? And we're back. I have to rely on levitate to get us down there. Oh. Let's do it. This game is so cool. Hello? Who are you? Emily? Can I trust this? I mean, you totally would climb down here to get your hands on this stuff, but...
Jesse, hey!
Yeah, no, it's you.
How did she get down here?
What are you doing down here, Emily?
What do you mean? You called me down, remember?
I'm pretty sure I didn't.
No, that's right. You didn't. But then, I remember you needing me to come here. I mean, you even told me how to get in. Let's just chalk it up to synchronicity so we can get to work.
She takes everything in stride.
Oh, I love
Called
her.
me down here to deal with the situation. The astral plane is...
Colliding with our world, I know. Isn't it fascinating? I never even considered that the astral plane could be a physical volume expanding beyond its dimensional container. The bleed is localized to this area, but its growth rate seems steady. Given time, it will consume the entire Bureau, and possibly beyond.
That's what I'm here to stop. The board told me to fix the nail over there by dismantling 4 locks in the astral plane. Funny, I think it's put itself back together a bit.
So that could be due to the law of inverse exchange. For every associated component you remove, this nail reconstructs. Or possibly some variation of anti-sympathy. Don't worry, I'll look into it. Did you notice all the Bureau infrastructure? It looks like there was a research team stationed down here at some point. Do you think Darling knew about this?
I put money on it. That reminds me, have you seen Marshall? She contacted me over the hotline, but then I saw her walking around.
I haven't seen her. The hotline only connects to extraplanar entities. Or dead people. But Marshall's proved time and time again that she's a survivor.
That's exactly what I thought.
Anyway, I've been looking into the minerals growing down here. Have you noticed how they insist on maintaining a certain form? Maybe some sort of a state memory, or they consciously prefer a certain shape?
I think we're on a clock here, Emily. I need to stop the astral bleeding before it brings the oldest house down. See what you can find out from the nail in the meantime. And send out some rangers to look for Marshall. She may be in trouble.
Will do, Jesse. If you see anything interesting, remember to take detailed notes.
This is exactly what it's like to talk with Elster about this game. Which is why it's so much fun. Like, I just love the enthusiasm that bleeds out of this character. But it does seem we have something of a home base back here, and that's something of a welcome sight. Also maybe a bit of foreshadowing that time doesn't work in a linear fashion down here. We didn't call her for help, we didn't give her any instructions, but I have a feeling that we're going to. I hadn't realized it, but these melee damage upgrades are actually like way more significant than most of the other increments. So I'm actually going to start putting stuff into use guys. That's more melee damage and another bit for levitate. And yeah, we'll get going with that from now on, since we don't really have to worry about points anymore. Now, it would seem that there's another way up over there. Some noobs in the past did it with rope, while I have much faster ways of doing that. Cavers hate her. Learn how to explore areas unknown with this one simple trick. Now, which way are we going? Straight this way. I suppose this is considered the warehouse path. Oh, I almost took the leap of faith until I realized that that's probably not what I'm supposed to be doing. Yep. I have also noticed, I haven't talked about it, but objects around you tend to be moved by the gravitational field that you produce when you're levitating, which is pretty neat. We'd be able to probably break these things if we had the other ability. As it stands, we gotta maneuver around it and try not to get too caught up on these stalactites. Yep. That looks like a little makeshift shack. Hang on. That actually creeped me out a little bit. Oh, it's a mesh cage. And it's telling us V to melee, so yep. So we restored power to something. Well, no geysers so far. So that's a bit of an improvement over the tunnel to the last place. We could call for ranger assistance. I tend to not like to do that because I don't like to put them in danger. Whoa. I mean, whoa, hang on. If that's not thumbnail worthy, I don't know what is. Now, right after we grab this here control point, we'll just see about what we do with the flying boys up there. Yep. There you go, that got you nice and mad. And, oh, you're still alive. Hang on, wait, that wasn't part of the... You weren't supposed to still be alive, but you're out of range for me to throw stuff at you. Bang and bang. See, I was kind of under the impression that you would be staggered and lose your ability to throw stuff when I shot you like that. And we can... Ow! My god, I keep getting hit by stuff off screen. You didn't get taken for some reason. Nope, you're not allowed to do that. Okay, so hitting you with telekinesis does it. But I really need you to die so that I can take your goop. Thank you. Oh, look, we have traps that we can spring out of the ground. That's really useful against flying enemies. Alright, let's have a look around and learn what we were doing here. The fact that it's all still powered is an anomaly all its own. On the history of the oldest house. The oldest house has revealed much to me during my months in the Foundation, but many questions remain. Primarily, the tree etchings bewilder me. What is their significance? If the house has changed shape over its lifetime as I theorized, then was a tree its first form? I sent a team to the Schwartzman building in search of pre-settlement accounts of Manhattan Island. From those, I discovered a single relevant line. And there I found a tree not known to me, the devil twisted within its bark. That line, taken with the fact that certain American cultures believed some trees would offer wisdom and guidance, is indeed interesting. However, it's hardly firm evidence, and though I'm now bound to the oldest house, I remain a man of science. Of course, there are numerous ancient beliefs regarding trees, Yggdrasil, the Tree of Knowledge, Yaximix-Che. Some cultures offered blood sacrifices to trees, while others claimed trees endowed chosen individuals with inhuman powers. Do New York City's many murders act as a sacrifice for the oldest house? Does the house have a chosen champion? Is it me? That's a lot to extrapolate. Trees cool equals me god. Oh man, we are not going to find you in a favorable state, are we? We gotta check all of these buildings now. Does this do anything for us? No, in fact, it doesn't seem to do anything at all. Still, imagine how irritating it must be to get this sand in your eyes. Another one in the barracks. Pyramidic geometry. I've been going through my library researching pyramids and triangles. If that shape does relate to the board as Northmore says, then perhaps our predecessors in the occult can offer some insight through their geometric knowledge. In esotericism, the triangle is closely associated with the Holy Trinity and other three-part concepts: past, present, future, mind, body, spirit. Interestingly, the term board also implies multiple parts. Upright triangles in Judeo-Christian imagery indicate ascent into the rational and divine realm. Inverted, it signifies a descent into the corporeal and human. Naturally, the ascent is masculine and the fall is feminine. Adam and Eve? That's just a bit of old-world patriarchy. It's 1964 now, and we're all well past that silliness. Considering the above, what does the inverted triangle tell us about the board? They're clearly not corporeal or human. Perhaps they wish to be? Or they once were? The likeliest answer is simply that theological imagery cannot help us define alien entities. But still, the pyramids seem significant. Shapes have power, and clearly so does the board. Now, Elster actually pointed out to me a while back that that does seem to be a thing. Like, New York seems to be overrepresented in this world. Maybe it's a hub for this stuff, or some sort of larger control point all its own.
Is this a Bureau ID badge? It looks so old. Pope will definitely want to see this.
Pope's collection. Okay, maybe we can bring that back to her. But first, we've got to finish up here. That's interesting. This thing presents as some ancient monolith, but it seems to be FBC-grade concrete. There's another badge in there, but we can't get in at the ground level. Guess it's rock climbing for us then. And the nature of our levitate makes it a little bit difficult to do so, but we should have no trouble. That is so weird. Oh, another one.
Weird place to leave an ID card, but okay.
I mean, it's like collecting dog tags, right? We can confirm the fate of some people, maybe? Or maybe there's something else she can do with it. Maybe some insight she can offer. Oh, we can enter right there. And there's another.
Another ID card. For a cartographer.
So they are unique. Going this way will lead us back to the crossroads. For now, let's see about climbing this thing. It reminds me of a certain segment of Outer Wilds, something that took me a long time to figure out. Hopefully this will be a bit easier.
28 days now spent inside what we're calling the oldest house. Northmore insists on the name. I'm too tired to ask why. I'm not sleeping well. Per orders, me and my research team have established a permanent examination lab in the Foundation. I basically live down here now, like the obedient head of research Father raised me to be. I spend my days investigating that odd pillar where Northmore found the handgun. The work was half-hearted at first, I admit. But then I discovered numerous non-Aristotelian energy channels converging at its base. Ley lines, dragon roads, Hyligalinian, call them what you want. But this pillar is the crossroads. I started building something. Equal parts talisman and technology. An array that can impose order on the ley junctions. That's the idea, at least. We'll see when I'm done. I prefer to work away from the pillar. I'm not the only one who feels like that thing has eyes.
Maybe in trying to understand it, you ended up understanding everything, even less than when you started. I have a feeling you'll be quite deranged when we meet, and I do think we will meet in some form. Okay, so if we can get at that generator over there, we can plop it in and start this elevator. Is there maybe an opening where we can get through? Oh, this is just working. Never mind. That's kind of unexpected, to be honest. And then you'll just open up that way. And if we go like that... Nope. And now you're closing. Oh, I see. You're doing weirdness. There we go. And now you'll work. Power core storage or warehouse entrance. So where are we now? Well, I mean, this is probably warehouse entrance, right? So why even give me the option if it's only between 2 points? Well, I'm seeing a lot of stuff out that way. Maybe we can reach other floors. There they are. Well, that's good for us. And there's a document over here. After numerous attempts, I've finally found a way to intercept and contain the ambient energy of the ley lines in a kind of non-Aristotelian battery I've dubbed the Power Core. I admit it was difficult capturing an energy I can barely measure, much less interact with. Luckily, it seems that the porous stone of the Foundation's caverns possesses such conductive qualities. Using stone flakes and copper wire, my power cores collect significant power. My early prototypes collected too much, in fact, but I've since reinforced the container, so even these things have a bit of lore. We don't know yet the repercussions of tapping into this power field. As a precaution, these devices should not be taken outside of the house. Ideally, the Bureau should no longer need to rely on typical energy sources. It's my greatest feat of engineering yet. I've always had an interest in invention. I like the creativity that it allowed, set within the firm boundaries of logic and physics. That's exactly why I like games like KSP and From the Fog. From the Depths. Father never approved, calling it a mundane science. With that in mind, I dedicate this invention to Theodore Ashe Sr. May he scowl in peace. Well, you've been helping us this entire time, even if you or I didn't know it. Although these things were seen outside of the house in Alan Wake 2. Oh, you're not powered up. That's the issue. Alright, is any of you powered? Anybody glowing on the rack? There you go. Boop. There we are. Although, given that it was flickering before, I'm not sure to what extent we really trust this. Oh, now we gain access to tunnel access. All the way up with us. Oh, it's so dark. I don't like it being dark on an elevator, you know? The idea of being in motion in the dark in general, really. I guess it's like that feeling of closing your eyes and running through the forest or something, you know? Like you just feel like this is so dangerous. Oh my. So when you say access, that word's doing a lot of heavy lifting. How are we gonna take care of this? Well, look, okay, good. We do have the extra levitate duration as well, so that helps us some. And let's just keep an eye out on the ground for geysers. control point. Pioneered right here. Oh, that is so cool, because the major theme of this whole DLC has been origins. Everything seems so familiar and yet ancient. Showing how, with this world, the more things change, the more they stay the same. And here we are. Wait, have we... Yeah, I think we're just coming back to where we were, right? Have we seen this? I don't think we've been here in particular. Okay, we need... Yep. We just need a couple of friends in this fight. And some more health. Oh yeah, I'm not too scared of the standard enemies anymore. If we have a sniper on our side, that should help direct our attention. There we go. You're just immediately dead from that headshot. You're trying to throw your tools at me. Alright, we got this thing. Yep. Your body is always useful if all else fails. And the rest of you seem to be done. Luckily we had the music to tell us about that, because objects falling around us after a fight seems suspiciously like objects being thrown at us. Anything else here that we need? Did not find anything else in there, so now it's back this way.
Worst I've ever seen. Hiss take the nail. End of the world.
So I can't let the hiss take the nail. Not a problem. I know how to handle them.
That's pretty much the one thing we can count on down here. Okay, how now, brown cow? This is never gonna get any easier. I hate these jumps. I never feel like I can make it end. Yeah, it looks like there's a good bit more platforming still to be done. Yep. I always underestimate my powers when it comes to levitation. We were pretty weak in it in the beginning, and we've been steadily upgrading the entire time. But it's kind of a learned helplessness, I suppose. Meteor Hill supplement. This one's from 1958. Note, per Archival Mandates 8A, this document has been edited to meet current administrative standards. Certain terminology may be out of date. The retrieved material was subjected to Fellstrom's array, configuration 74B, but the tests were halted as the matter began to physically elude the equipment. Attempts to constrain the element were made, but under further stress, it became vaporous. The researchers suffered corrosive injuries prior to their deaths. The child victims at Meteor Hill recounted the material enveloping them in a pleasant manner upon making contact, but when discovered, they were something and screaming. Bodily changes were perceived immediately: deformities, loss of pigment in the skin and hair, and mental symptoms surfaced in subsequent examinations: confusion, heightened aggression. The Department of Public Knowledge and Diversion gave statements claiming the incident was caused by debris from poorly made Russian satellites, which the public accepted with no complications. The children were sent to the Bureau's recuperation facility somewhere to receive help, away from society. That's one of those times where the less we know, the worse it sounds. Well, now that we've got elevator access, I guess that means we can go anywhere? Yes. But this is tunnel quick access. We can only take it further down. Well, I'm fairly certain we're supposed to be going up there because I can see that red hiss glow. I don't... Oh no, we can climb up along this wall. Okay, that's how we're doing it. That's actually sort of preferable to what I was thinking, which was more elevator repairs. Yep. I do like using these powers. It's really cool. Yep. And we can just make it. And there's probably our ultimate goal. Oh, wait. Boom. Perhaps we can do something from here. Or maybe not. I don't see anything else. And those hiss nodes certainly stand out. Yet another control point. I'm really not sure how many documents I've read in total, but I think I read somewhere that there's like 280 something, 260 something. I mean, the threads I read were from years ago, but they weren't entirely sure at that time. So discovering that was almost an expedition all its own. Okay, I'm more scared of the hiss than I am of the astral buddies. So I'm going to, yep, deal with you first. I can't seize you guys, can I? Oh, I can! I can totally own you. There we go. Own you like really hard and stuff, right? There we go. And then that gives us the spin bonus, which I never get to use anymore. What with all the dying these guys do. You guys get a lot of health. Wait, let me do the thing, no, let me do the thing, you're all dead. That was so cool. The stars never align in that way. Come, brother, let's watch the sunset together. Sometimes it's so overwhelming where I just can't see what's going on at all. Any of these things that we would want? Projectile speed? We have one that gives us plus 500%. We get 10% of our ammo back every use of evade. I'm actually going to sacrifice 26% of my health, which is like really high now, just to see how that serves us, because I am dodging around a lot, and that might help keep us in the fight as far as Pierce goes. But we'll have to see. All I know for now is we have got a couple of options as far as paths to take. Well, we can climb up the other way, but we want to access every floor of this warehouse we can, because we want to gain elevator functionality, and of course find documents, Foundation etchings, on the 4 etchings. My explorations of the Foundation have resulted in yet another mystery, a fascinating series of etchings on large stone tablets. The tablets themselves are likely not native to the Foundation, seeing as they're slabs of sedimentary stone, quite different from the cave's categorization-defying rock. Their placement and form are also too intentional to be naturally occurring. But who braved this place to carry them in? And for what purpose? I discovered a 5-point macro entanglement between the tablets, with a pillar at its center. These links seem to extend beyond our level of consciousness, to some astral realm I can't detect. Is Northmore's board somehow tied to all this? The etchings on these tablets are similarly curious. They differ from the cave paintings in style and technique, so are clearly not of the same origin. Are they the visual narration of some event? Or do they indicate intent, a wish, a plan? They only seem to consist of a tree and the pillar, but the sizes of either are inconsistent. What does that signify? I'm missing key pieces of this puzzle, and it's unlikely I'll ever find them. Maybe you did, maybe you're still looking, and that pursuit has driven you mad. I mean, I'm clearly pretty set in my narrative at this stage, but I guess we'll see how much that holds up. In any case, everybody give it up for level 5. I don't think we're going to be able to learn much from this elevator now, so I shall take my leave. Here it's really more of the same, and I would imagine that if we were to look down, things are starting to look fairly scary, so I'm gonna wait until we're on solid ground. Oh my, I can hardly even see the bottom from here. Alright, we got this. I would hate doing this. Alright, what are you doing up here? Party ends at 11, strict curfew. That one's inside the elevator shaft. Maybe if we bring it up, we can destroy it. There we are. And we should be able to get this thing moving even further if we can power it on some more. There's an opening in the wall here. That's cool. And it shows us where we're going next. Unfortunately, it seems like they're trying to slow my roll by putting a barrier in front of that thing. Okay, so how does one deal with that? Well, that worked. I'm not sure if it was supposed to work, but it did. And now we've got access to this. Can you take us even further up? Upper warehouse. This is really exciting. Like, there's something about a literal physical climb that really makes it feel like you're making progress. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a long way, and then 6. That checks out. I guess we finally reached where we're going.
Another etching.
Tell us your secrets, Ancient One. Oh, we gotta clear the chamber first, do we? Alright, oh no. I was trying to seize your buddy. But this oh come on, it's like, you keep, whenever there's multiple objects which can be affected by a button press, you always, like, reliably choose the wrong one. Like right now, see? Okay, let's try this again. Let's try this again. There we go, it worked that time. Thank you. Yep. And there's a resonance somewhere. Yep. You are going to be working for me now, actually. Come on. Really close. And there we go. And, oh wow, that is some fast heals. Alright, you die, and you work for me. Does that mean we're done? Okay, so you will do it in the presence of friends. Listen, hurry, meet. I can't believe this thing's still trying to talk to us. We fought you twice. What is it that you want? Oh, and we're still receiving health from that resonance. But we know what to do. As with everything, we're the key. Yeah, I did not expect this thing to be receiving a whole new lore in this update. Unless maybe Langston's quests are actually part of this DLC? Progress jolly good. The 2 holes lollipops are left to...
Hello? Board, are you there?
Danger, Director, board broken, deeper. Understand? Tool other new forbidden board. Given former yours necessary go.
Okay, what the hell is going on? Wait, I'm back here?
And I guess here's where we get other abilities, so maybe it wasn't as hard of a choice as I thought. You should, can, better not be here, Director.
Blame the eyeball.
The other tool and weapon is forbidden. Former it adrift is trying to mislead you.
Former. Yeah, we've had our discussions. But it is giving me something you won't.
I guess we can't leave without it. This is our first act of defiance. And it's a modification to the service weapon. Quite a big modification to the service weapon, and we can even reform what's there. That is so cool. We've got the full set. Certain crystal formations regrow after destruction. Well, let's just not be here when they're back. Do not be ignorant/thick. You are being reckless/disobedient.
Deciding what I can't have.
Wow, you actually see the slashes, huh? I was wondering how that was meant to be read. Now we've got our answer. Pierce is definitely better for this. There is a certain minimum threshold. So how are we doing this now, then? Well, you need to be broken. We need to be over there. And perhaps we can even reform you. I was thinking we could maybe ride you up. Well, by breaking you, we can come over to here. Yep. I was trying to do a thing, but it didn't work. Yep. This is actually a bit difficult. We need to know exactly where we're going. Oh, I see down there. Well, we should be good so long as we just kind of dash across like so. And then, yep. And... yep. And there we are. You cannot control this. You cannot control your staff. You are mismanaging the Bureau self-narrative. Okay, I thought there was going to be a thing there. Hang on. I'm trying to do stuff to you. We're spawning the invincible boys now. You could be damaged by C's, but I don't think you're going to give me any seizable enemies, are you? Nope, we just got to avoid. Thankfully, it seems like for being godlike entities, you're actually not great shots. So that works in my favor. Still, the tone that's coming across is more that they're annoyed with me rather than enraged, so certain tolerances.
I'm getting pretty tired of being jerked around the astral plane. If you're listening, I want some answers.
I love this character so much. Still, she certainly has acclimated to her new position. I don't think you can argue that. And really, everything that's seemingly unorthodox for the position has been shown to be exactly why she's a perfect fit. Tunnel open grateful. So the former is, I guess, the opposite side, the dark to the board's light. But given how that's been used in the past, let's not associate that with good and bad. Welcome, speak. We fought twice, so why is this different?
Hi there. It was nice of you to give me something the board wouldn't. What are you getting out of it?
Void. Nothing. Egress.
So I'm just supposed to believe you're a particularly charitable, whatever you are?
Neither. Both. Hungry?
Hungry? I mean, yeah, actually, I'd love a sandwich or something. That's not what you meant, was it?
Right. Panini. Former. Board. Abalone.
Are you part of the board? Or used to be?
Once. Split. Board. Blame.
Okay. So you split because the board blamed you for...
Inside. Beyond. Nail. Rescue. House. Sun. Warning.
Gotta be easier to play charades.
Oh, I'm forming a theory.
Do I need to rescue someone? I don't know what I expected. Listen, this has been great, but I have to go. Thanks for your help, and, Stay out of trouble.
House, listen, nail, leech, burn, go.
What was Former trying to tell me about the board? Should I trust either of them?
Ah, that is so cool. A fallen member of the board. So they've got beef and they're both talking to us. Still makes me wonder why you were seemingly possessing objects, or at least tampering with them. Maybe it's actually a way of going against their will. Ah, I can't wait to learn more about this. This is so cool. We're actually learning about the deep, well, foundations of all this. But as for what I was saying, could this actually be Dr. Ash's father in some way? I mean, if people can transcend, and there is the speculation that they were once human, I mean, it's a small thing, but the seed is planted. Let's dive down here and see what's here, because usually, yep, this does actually fall to someplace we can go. Although whether it's someplace we want to go remains to be seen. Yep, there we go. Will that keep you out? I'm not sure. Doesn't actually matter. So much. I hate you guys. How about you come on this way? Right this way. God, that's fun. But you guys are a step ahead with your quickness. That's the tough thing about you guys. You're not really particularly special in terms of your powers, you're just quick. My god. Oh. I did not expect to survive that. That did not seem like enough time to slow down, but whatever. Yep. Well, that actually did tremendous damage. Yep. And you're down. Can't believe we've only killed 20 of these things. These guys are actually deceptively tough. Yep. Now with our new abilities, we can easily get such obstructions out of our way. There we go, that arc is resolved. And whoop. Make things so much easier for us to traverse. Once again, they've done it where we come in as an outsider and very quickly acclimate to our surroundings and become almost like an organism meant to be here. Alright, Emily, we've got to talk to you about those ID cards. Yes, Gestra had it. That's how we know you're a scientist.
Jesse, you're back. So did you find anything noteworthy? The original Bureau expedition down here left so much interesting stuff behind.
Like their ID cards. I picked up a weird one. It's pretty old.
Oh wow, look at that. Yeah, I found a few ID cards myself. Or, more accurately, the Rangers found them for me.
Are you starting a collection?
I'm going for the whole set. I kid, of course. But I suppose they are sort of like baseball cards, except for Bureau stuff from the 60s. Hey, the one you found is different than mine. It looks like it's a higher clearance level.
A rare one, then. Want to keep it, Emily?
Yeah, I absolutely do. But I think you should hang on to it for now. High clearance access might come in handy.
Sounds like you have something in mind.
Guilty. See, I've been going through Dr. Ash's notes, or the ones I can find, anyway. Like Darling, he seemed to enjoy hiding his most relevant research. From what I gather, there is another floor beneath the warehouse with a special lab that requires 5 high-level staff members just to access. Here, take this. It's an old skeleton key. Something else the Rangers found. I give them $5 for every useful trinket they bring me.
I'm gonna assume this key is my ticket to that lower floor. And that super secret lab you mentioned.
Bingo bango, as Dr. Darling used to say. Look, keep your eyes peeled for more ID cards around the warehouse. If Ash's notes are reliable, and I'm sure they are, then 5 is the magic number.
I see. So how many did I find then? I have to say, I share your curiosity. Probably 3. Is there anything else we can talk to you about?
A section of the containment sector in the caves, but no house shifts occur down here. Strange.
How did the Hiss get into the Foundation?
Same way we did, I imagine. But you need to remember that the Hiss are the embodiment of persistence. Their nature seems to be one of force, to find every possible vulnerability and exploit it. Their only goal is consumption.
I'm sure there's plenty of goodies for them down here. The nail, for instance.
If the Hiss could corrupt the nail, I'm sure they would have by now. It must not interest them in its broken state. They could be distracted by the numerous unknown paranatural materials I'm sure are lying around. These are the roots of the oldest house. The Hiss will find plenty of ways to make trouble.
They're pretty good at that.
But we can stop them.
So you've never heard of the Foundation, huh?
I've never even seen the name referenced. Clearly it's highly classified, but for what reason? The problem with these kinds of closed-off hidden areas is that they were likely sealed for good reason. But now no one is left to tell us what that reason was.
Any guesses why the Bureau would hide something like this?
I only know what I've observed. This place is spatially rigid, which means it doesn't shift like the rest of the oldest house. And before you ask why that is, I have to admit that I'm clueless. There's some signal interfering with my equipment, making it hard to get a clear reading. It's being emitted from the floor. Maybe I should have brought a jackhammer.
The astral plane is already taking chunks out of this place, Emily. Let's not add to it. So let me get this straight. The astral plane is bleeding into the Foundation.
Correct.
And that's happening because the nail is damaged.
I'd say it's a bit more than damaged, but yes, that is my understanding.
So what's the connection between the nail and the astral plane?
It's a good question. See, I always pictured objects of power as strings between our plane and the astral. If the nail has a similar relationship, then maybe it's more accurate to think of it like plumbing. Now that the nail is busted, sewage is gushing everywhere.
Not the prettiest metaphor.
I should get back out there.
Agreed. The astral bleed won't stop itself.
Lots to think about.
All the tests I run on the nail keep coming back as nonsense, and a couple of my instruments have already broken.
Maybe we should take that as a sign to pack it in?
You're fired.
Take you for a quitter, Dr. Saba. There's a reason I packed a black rock-plated microscope.
That's exactly the attitude we need here at the FBC. This answers and raises so many awesome questions. But unfortunately, I'm all out of time, so the answers to those will have to wait until next time. And I think I'm going to start with more of those key cards, but until then, if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this game out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one.